Okay, now we're going to think a little bit how we don't just teach these pieces in isolation. We want to try to coordinate across the lesson plan. So we have our plan for how we're going to introduce the book, Dr. Jen. And you can see I'm using a lesson plan template that I was able to get offline on janrichardson.com. It's a little bit different looking than the lesson plan in our text, but it has all the same elements. So I'm going to include this in your weekly prep, and we'll use this as part of your work. All right, so I have looked through the book, and I'm going to pick sight words that I know my students know. Now, this is a little bit fictional because I don't have a guided reading pre-assessment report for the student I'm going to teach. You would know what sight words your student needs. But one thing I also do is I also look at the type of words that are in the text that may be tricky, that the student may know but just want to brush up on those words. So I've picked has because has is on every page in this text, and it's a traditional sight word in that it's high frequency and it doesn't look like it's spelled. I would spell has, H-A-Z. I'm also going to use the word can't because can't is in that page with Grandma. Yeah, Grandma can't hear well. And at this point, you know, we can assume that kids have been learning about contractions. So I might put can't as a sight word if we've been working on that. That's more along the lines of a high frequency word, but we'll pop it in there. And then does, right? O-E here would make an O sound. That would be more of a sight word, does. And does is in this text quite a bit. So I'm kind of previewing a couple of the words that are in this text. You don't have to do that, but I kind of like to build that continuity. Now, that being said, if I do this kind of thing, and when I get to the reading, the text reading is too easy for kids, they're getting 100% accuracy, and I have no coaching to do, then I could stop doing that, right? All right, so that's my plan. Those are my sight words. After the text reading, I'm just going to ask, you know, have you guys ever been to a family doctor? Just have that conversation. And then I think for teaching a new sight word, I would have to look through here and think, well, what is a sight word that might help us as we're moving forward in this text? And you know, there's not a lot in this particular book that I think my student might not know. But I think I could do another contraction here. I'll do the word. No, I don't want to do the word let's. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm going to do the word goes. And actually goes is not in this book, but that's okay. It kind of falls along the line of does, and goes. So I feel like I've got some continuity crossed here. And then for the word study, my student, I've done the DSA with them, and I know they don't know this vowel consonant E pattern. They're really good on letter name stage features. So I'm going to do the sound boxes, and I'm going to do the sound boxes to feature this pattern of vowel consonant E in the particular pattern of AKE. And so what you'll see here on my lesson plan is I've written a progression, of targets. These are things I'm going to say to help the student use sound boxes to think about this pattern of AKE, AKE. I could also use analogy chart. That would be another way to do this. So this would be how I would plan the lesson for Dr. Jen.